What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Lockdown Universe, home of the bizarre, peculiar, and unheard of stories of UFO legend and paranormal lore. Welcome back, welcome back. Happy to be back. Hopefully, you guys are doing excellent and taking care of yourselves. So, today, I want to talk to you about Google's AI Willow chip. Have you heard of this Willow chip? Well, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time explaining everything that it does. I'm just going to talk about what it can do and then the ramifications for us. So let me let Mr. Cold Daddy explain this to you and then we'll talk about it. So just listen to this for a hot second and we'll get into our conversation.
Google's new quantum chip is so powerful that it must have borrowed computational power from other universes. At least that's what this article says the founder of Google Quantum AI said. Likely you've already heard about this. If not, let me give you a refresher. So this is Google's latest quantum processor named Willow. And Willow's got some skills. You see, Willow performed a computation in under 5 minutes that would take one of today's fastest supercomputers 10 septillion years. That exceeds the age of the universe.
All right. I could just stop it right there. Think about that for a second. It performed a computation in under 5 minutes that would take today's fastest supercomputer 10 septillion years, which exceeds the age of the universe as we know it. Now, think about that for a second. Think about that. That is a quantum computer, a quantum chip. And who made it? Google. Who sees all of your searches that you've ever done? Google. Now, think about this for a second. I'll take this into a couple different topics. Number one, Google's making this chip. Google owns this chip. Google is experimenting with this chip. And what is Google doing? It's taking all of your information that you've ever searched, looked up, researched, or were just simply interested in. Or maybe you wanted to look up a movie. Maybe you wanted to look up a superstar. Maybe you wanted to look up something, of interest to you. Well, think about how fast this thing can process. If this thing can process more than our universe has been alive in 5 minutes, then it could easily understand your personality and what you're going to eventually do. Right? The reason I bring this up is because we're moving into a future that's so fast, you won't be able to keep up with it. It's going to be able to predict crime before it happens. It's going to be Minority Report. It's going to be the Adjustment Bureau. It's going to be do androids dream electric dreams? I mean, it's Philip K. Dick. Philip K. Dick made all those movies. Okay, Philip K. Dick dreamed, and when he dreamt, he accessed the collective unconscious, some quantum realm where he was able to gather all of these amazing ideas for books. And these books were made into movies. The Adjustment Bureau had Matt Damon in it. Minority Report had Tom Cruise in it. He's got a couple others out there. And the fact of the matter is, why am I bringing that up? Is because those movies were predictive of the future. And this thing, they already have personality traits built in for you. China is already has a social credit score for people, so they can't enter into certain businesses without having a high enough social credit score based off of their social media and a bunch of other things. So, if this thing can figure out the entire universe in 5 minutes, think about that for a second. It could tell when you're going to die. It can tell when you're going to get married. It could tell with relative certainty how many kids you're going to have, what job you might end up with, how tall your children might be, what the future is for the earth. How many years do we have left on Earth? How many how many how many years until we have the aliens come down and show themselves? How many planets can inhabit or can have aliens inhabit them? And so on and so forth. And I mean, this is stuff you could talk about with AI, but this chip is different. This chip is way different, and it's insanely faster. What else could it do? I mean, this thing can compute just one problem, that would take 10 septillion years and do it in 5 minutes. And this is only 2024. This thing's only going to get better. Have you seen a picture of this thing? I mean, the entire computer is so bizarre. It has a chip, right? Like all chips do, but the chips function off of qubits. They don't function off of ones and zeros. They function off of ones and zeros that can be superimposed or superposed, so that they can basically be in like 5 million places at once. So think about that. It's like the movie Everywhere All at Once, or Everything Everywhere All at Once, where all the multiverses are happening, and the computer can figure that out and can say, hey, with relative certainty, if Joe puts on a yellow shirt today, he's going to get hit by a car, or if John, wears the brown shoes with the rough bottom heel, he's going to sprain his ankle in 20 steps. I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. I mean, that's kind of like common sense stuff. I mean, this thing is way beyond that. What else could we use it for? Well, we could figure out how long the Earth has got. We could figure out how much time we have left before global warming takes us over, or if global warming isn't even a thing, when's the next ice age? How long do we have until that happens? What's the most efficient way to build a spaceship that can transport through time or space? This thing should be able to make plans for us to be able to create a ship like that. If it's that intelligent, it should be able to do it. It should be able to not, if it doesn't know how to do it with the information it's gathered, then it should be able to train itself to learn at an exponential rate, to the point where it should be able to do a lot of things. It should be able to create wormholes. It should be able to create portals so we can travel from point A to point B around the world. And this is disclaimer. That's if we don't have this stuff already. It should be able to create the perfect economy so that we can get off of fossil fuels without destroying everything that we've built, and then be able to survive off of free energy without causing extreme social chaos and extreme social burden for those who are in the fossil fueled economies. It should be able to solve world hunger. It should be able to create enough jobs or create a game plan for society so that we don't lose our minds when nobody's working, and so that we have something to do to keep ourselves active and engaged. And a lot of people think, hey, man, I could do it. I could do that, da 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 da. Well, think about what happened when we had like lockdowns. Everybody was like freaking out about that, and oh, I got to get back to work and all this stuff, because we were all worried about our jobs. Well, what if we don't need jobs anymore? Because this thing can provide for us. It can provide enough food based off of its farming schedule and planting schedule. I mean, the possibilities are limitless. This thing could create a society map for the future so that all countries can get along perfectly without issue. Yes, there's room for human error, but it could, if we followed the game plan, followed the map that's presented, then things might work out. And I'm not talking about making a one world government or anything like that. I'm just talking about like a United Nations game plan so that everybody can get along in peace and harmony. This thing could do policing. This thing, without biases. This thing could tell us if Jesus really existed. This thing could tell us if what the best way is to raise children so that they're the most successful, the happiest, the most beneficial way to raise children. And I mean, that's a really tough thing to do in this day and age, because you might have children that have mental health issues. They need assistance, but sometimes, a lot of times, they get matched up with counselors that don't have the capabilities to, or the training to assist them at the most optimal level, right? They can help them, but maybe not at the most optimal level. It might be outside of the scope of their capability. So if this thing can can figure out the best type of therapy for everyone, then people could get better a lot faster too. And I'm not just talking about mental health, I'm talking about physical health. You know, it could look at you and say, hey, in 5 years you're going to develop, I don't know, I don't want to keep saying, heart stuff, but like you could develop a heart attack, or you could develop, I don't know, coronary artery disease or something like that. Um, and it could figure out the solution for that. Um, I mean, there's just so many possibilities. The possibilities are endless. So, why am I talking about this? Why is it important for UFO stuff? Because it could tell us if there are aliens. It could tell us if there are crash ships. You know why? Because if it had access to the internet and it could scale through all of the internet, it could scale through all the military internet, it could scale through any pieces of the internet. It doesn't even have to get into the military internet. It could just go through regular internet and probably find somebody's, rantings and ravings that work for one of the contractors. I mean, dude, the shits that's like in Google is endless, right? Because Google's people are always using Google to search, and then they could use DuckDuckGo, they could use other search tools, but Google, it just owns so much of the internet, and it has everybody's search history in it, and compiles it, and creates what it believes to be a personnel profile of you, and in that it can say if you're a trustworthy person or not, if you're likely to injure somebody or not, if you're likely to be a good person or not. I mean, there's so many possibilities, but right now, if you invest in Google, I mean, it's not I'm not a financial advisor or anything. It's not financial advice, but I mean, you got to think that if they have this computer, that they are going to like own the world. They're going to know what's happening way before anybody else. I mean, it's going to know who's, people that are investing in everything. I mean, they already do know that. People that are searching for certain things, if they're going to go digging for a certain mineral, and that mineral is going to become valuable. Knowledge is power. And if they can pull up the knowledge super fast, super quickly with this supercomputer, then, I mean, Willow's going to take over the planet. It's going to be, it could be AI dominance. And that is actually a term that they're talking about. AI superiority. Which country and which company have AI superiority? Well, if they have a supercomputer that can go as fast as it can go, you got to say that it's Google. Google has AI superiority. Luckily, Google's located in the United States. Does anybody else have a piece of that pie? Does anybody else, have control over it? Does anybody else, want to own a piece of it? Yeah, probably. Who wouldn't? So, I mean, if you look up, the original Google founders are different than who the Google, CEO is now, right? Because the Google CEO right now is Sundar Pichai. He's been there since, well, he's been the CEO since 2015, dude. 2015, dude. That's 10 years. That's a really long time for somebody to be a CEO. Um, what does he have to say about AI? He says the stakes are high. He says the Google AI model Gemini will be the company's biggest focus in 2025. So that's obvious. But he says I think it's really important we internalize the urgency of this moment. We need to move faster as a company. The stakes are high, because as you know, if you watch the social network with Mark Zuckerberg being played by what's his nuts, you'll know that the social network movie really showed you whoever gets there first wins. It's the same thing with Facebook, and when he cut off the Winklevoss twins. So they have a lot of momentum. They're scaling Gemini on the consumer side. It'll be their biggest focus next year. So what AI is going to do is take over our jobs, take over so many things, and even next to this ad, there's a company called ServiceNow and it says put AI to work for people. Have you seen that movie, Subservience or whatever it is, with Megan Fox, where she's the maid, and all these robots are gonna start taking over our jobs, even in our house. You know, people are gonna start becoming real lazy, or they're gonna start getting real creative with their time. I'm not sure which at this point, but it's gonna be interesting. So anyway, I'll let you go. I think it's a fascinating topic. I think it's interesting. I think that possibilities are endless. Um, what kind of things do you think this Willow chip could do for you or for humanity? Put your comment in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Uh, is it dangerous? Maybe we'll make a poll for this one too. All right, guys. I got to run. I hope you guys take care of yourselves physically, spiritually, emotionally. Follow through on your hobbies and your goals and your dreams. And as always, continue to question the universe around you. Please like, follow, share, subscribe. That helps out so much. And Lockdown Universe out. Peace.